So the AI empire that Sam Altman built at OpenAI is crumbling before your eyes. After years decoding the wild swings of tech trends, I'm struck by this chilling pattern. He started with huge promises and then bigger flops, echoing the dot-com bust and the crypto crash. So why has Sam Altman twisted his story time and time again, leaving developers and investors questioning? So how can we trust a leader whose own words unravel under scrutiny, especially as OpenAI is really starting to stumble? What happened when the hype machine runs out of steam and the truth comes crashing down? So today we're going to peel back the layers to expose a messy, undeniable failure at OpenAI's core. Stick with me for some details as we dive into this today. OpenAI faces an increasingly fragile moat, JPMorgan says, as Sam Altman braces for OS war against Google, Apple, and other Silicon Valley titans. So, OpenAI is the world's third most valuable private company, valued at $300 billion in its latest fundraise in March 2025, and it's marching to the beat of its own disruption drum, according to JPMorgan. At the same time, the bank warns the risk of the company's business models are broadening, right? So it goes on to talk about, and even JP Morgan's own CEO, Jamie Dimon, discusses a lot of what's going on here, right? What JP Morgan calls its early advantage, unrivaled brand, and consumer focus, right? Because they grew faster than almost any company in history has. But it could help unlock a total addressable market of $700 billion by more than 2030. But the problem here is that their moat is becoming increasingly thin, right? So moat is usually what you use, is what separates you from your defenders or from your attackers, right? But in this case, the problem here is that they're really starting to lose ground really fast, right? JP Morgan finds OpenAI's frontier model innovation transformed into increasingly fragile moat. He writes about the context facing the AI giant of a window of risk growing in size and scope. They forecast rising talent and litigation risks, as well as strategic uncertainty related to OpenAI's unconventional organizational structure. So in short, the vision is clear to see, but the reality of the situation just outside of OpenAI's windows is rather more opaque. So I'm going to put this into a little bit of human words. That was a little bit. I'm more along the lines with this writer. Sam Altman, OpenAI is doomed. Now, that's a little strong because when you've got, the third largest private company in the world, you can screw up a lot and still stay around, right? So at $300 billion and with how many users and how fast they grew those users, OpenAI is definitely, ChatGPT is definitely the largest consumer, but they're going to lose at the enterprise. And these $20 a month subscriptions for ChatGPT are not going to cut it, right? And that's what they're starting to see. And what the big things here that this one is talking about is OpenAI is hemorrhaging half of its top talents in just 2 weeks. And this was actually a couple of weeks ago, July 12th. And even since then, there's actually been more and more who have left, right? And this goes through a ton of different ones, but Meta's been absolutely feral with their poaching strategy. They just hired 4 more researchers from OpenAI. Then there's been even more since then too. But Microsoft is also retreating from OpenAI really quickly. And that partnership seemed like it was ironclad even a year ago. And now it is in definite trouble, right? And this is giving the toxic exec who won't return your call, won't return your stuff vibes, right? And I liked that term there. Now, one of the things that really triggered the off of this for me was Sam Altman and his lies. Like originally, he was telling us 3 years ago we were going to hit AGI in months when we were in the when he said right after ChatGPT 3 there was going to be full AGI. And with all of that talk, he told us that we were not going to need developers and that it was going to replace workforce. Tons of talk like that. Now he went to, we're going to 10x developers, right? And now he's even saying, and he's retreated even faster, saying the world wants thousands of more software programmers. Why? Because suddenly OpenAI is now selling some ChatGPT code tools, right? So he's trying to sell off his coding tools, and now suddenly we need thousands of developers, right? The world wants a gigantic amount more software developers, hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times more developers. Explain why program salaries are going up extremely rapidly in Silicon Valley. Who do you think is going to be building the AI? Who do you think is going to be building on top of these AI systems, right? And I've never really quite understood this because Microsoft took the model a lot of years ago where they built tools for software developers, and that is part of the reason that Microsoft is who they are today, is because for the last 30 years they've invested in software developers. So it was always a really funny thing to me where guys like Sam Altman was just spitting on developers and saying that we weren't going to need them anymore. Back in 2016, Sam Altman told Wired magazine that AGI would wipe out developers by 2020, right? I think it's 2025. Pretty sure developers are doing pretty good, right? He painted the world where machines coded better than humans, luring an investor with a sci-fi dream. Yet having built software for years, I knew then that was pure hype, and I laughed about it in 2016, right? Now, we hadn't even seen ChatGPT launched yet, so that was a pretty bold claim then. By 2021, Altman backpedaled on a Stanford talk admitting that AI could only handle half of a developer's load, but he was still saying half of a developer's load. TechCrunch caught him softening the blow on OpenAI's early models, floundering on a tough task. This flip came after his AGI deadline totally flopped, showing a pattern of dodging accountability. Now, in 2023, Altman hit a TED Talk stage claiming AI would 100x developer output, right? So he's already kind of saying, oh, you don't need as many developers because every one developer is going to be 100 times more efficient. Now, that was just 2023, right? So like 18 months ago. And so he's dazzled us with these demos and shaped us, but it's like a circus act, right? It's impressive until you see the cracks backstage. And his desperation to stay relevant hinted at a bubble teetering on the edge. Now, as I just pointed out, Altman is now saying we need thousands of more developers. So it's been funny to watch him turn over the last 9 years to now say, nope, we need more and more and more developers, right? And so, and this about face comes as OpenAI is struggling to deliver, exposing Sam Altman's erratic leadership. So I can't help but smirk a little bit. Years in this field, and I've seen leaders flail like this before a crash. It's a desperate grab to stay relevant as his original vision unravels. Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected and you need some help, reach out to us because here at Startup Hack, our specialty is connecting systems to help your company work to maximum efficiency. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer because we can help you out. And I'm not going to give you all the hype. I'm really real and down to earth, right? So I don't love Sam Altman. It's funny because actually I really enjoyed his time when he worked with during his startup days. But now ever since he has come in with OpenAI since 2016, I've definitely seen this change to where now I think all he's doing is trying to do a mad money grab. And basically, if he's opening his mouth, there's some ulterior motive. And ultimately, in this case, it's interesting to see this shift because I think we're seeing the cracks of the beginning of the bubble burst. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd love to have a great discussion, so make sure you leave a comment down below. We answer all of them personally. And here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers as well as to build custom software solutions. So reach out because we'd love to help, and here's some great information about some of our services.
Hi, I'm Spencer, a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and 25 years in software development, I've transformed technology teams and products for businesses just like yours. As your fractional CTO, you get the strategic guidance of a seasoned technology executive without the full-time commitment, perfect for companies ready to leverage cutting-edge technology without expanding headcount. My team at Startup Hack has already built advanced AI agents for small and medium businesses, automating complex workflows and delivering advanced ROI to human workflows. We specialize in creating custom software that connects your systems into a single coherent technology ecosystem. Our development approach focuses on tangible business outcomes. For one client, we developed AI-powered workflows that cut days off of human processes. For another company, by connecting multiple systems, we reduced processing time to increase their ROI by over 75%. We don't just write code, we architect solutions that scale. Whether you need cloud system architecture, data integration between legacy systems, or custom AI agents that automate your unique business processes, my team delivers results that exceed your expectations. Having led technology for a lot of companies and launched 7 successful brands of my own, I bring battle-tested expertise to your business challenges. Our specialty is turning technological complexity into business advantage. So if you're ready to harness the power of AI and custom software to drive your business forward, let's connect. Together, we'll build technology that doesn't just solve today's problems, it positions you for tomorrow's opportunities. Technology leadership, decades of experience, AI powered. Reach out today and we can help you. Check out startuphack.com/Spencer.